I am Emma of Normandy, daughter of Richard the Fearless, Duke of Normandy, and mother to kings. My story unfolds in a turbulent era, one that shaped the destinies of England, Denmark, and beyond. I am not just a queen, I am a woman who navigated the treacherous waters of power, loyalty, and survival. When I first crossed the English Channel in 1002 to marry King Æthelred the Unready, I was young and full of hope. Yet, his reign was fraught with chaos as Danish invaders threatened the stability of the realm. Ætheld's rule was weak, and his court rife with intrigue. Still, I bore him children, including Edward, who would later ascend the throne as Edward the Confessor. Those years were a bitter apprenticeship in the ways of kingship and the fragility of power. In 1013, Swein Forkbeard of Denmark seized the English crown, and I fled with my children to Normandy. But destiny would call me back. When Swein died, my husband reclaimed the throne, only to die himself in 1016. It was then that I faced one of the greatest challenges of my life, to secure my children's future amidst the rise of Nut the Great. Nut, a man of ambition and strength, was unlike any I had known. Though he had come as a conqueror, he sought to unify rather than destroy. In 1017, I became his wife, an alliance forged as much by necessity as by strategy. It was a union that altered the course of history. Through our marriage, I became queen once more, not only of England but eventually of Denmark and parts of Norway. My position as Nut's queen was a delicate balancing act, as I sought to maintain my influence in a court dominated by Danes while ensuring the protection of my Anglo-Saxon children. Nut's reign was marked by prosperity and relative peace. He ruled wisely, blending English and Danish customs, and was revered by his subjects. By his side, I wielded significant power, securing lands, wealth, and political alliances. It was during these years that I commissioned the encomium Emmi Regini, a chronicle to assert my legitimacy and that of my children. I understood the power of narrative, how history could be shaped by those who told the story. Yet, my life was not without its trials. The court was a battlefield of ambition, and I had to navigate treacherous plots and shifting loyalties. The rivalry between my sons from my first marriage and those I bore with Nut weighed heavily on me. After Nut's death in 1035, the kingdom he had built began to fracture. My stepson, Harald Harefoot, claimed the throne, sidelining my son Harthacnut, who was in Denmark. I fought tirelessly to secure Harthacnut's place, enduring exile and political humiliation. I even sought refuge in Flanders, knowing full well the dangers of being caught in the tides of shifting alliances. Throughout those tumultuous years, I never relinquished my resolve. I returned to England, aligning with powerful nobles to restore my son to the throne. In 1040, Harthacnut finally succeeded, albeit briefly, and I witnessed the fruits of my labor, though it was bittersweet. By then, the years had taken their toll, and my influence began to wane. As I reflect on my life, I see the legacy I leave behind. My sons became kings, my bloodline shaped the history of England. Edward, my son from Æthelred, ascended the throne as Edward the Confessor, and his reign would be remembered as a golden age of piety and governance. Through my struggles, I bridged two worlds, the old Anglo-Saxon traditions and the emerging Norman influence that would soon reshape England forever. I am Emma, a queen of two great kings, a mother of dynasties, and a woman who weathered the storms of her age. My life was not merely one of survival but of influence, ambition, and enduring legacy. History may remember the kings I stood beside, but it was I who held the threads of their kingdoms together.